EMS is the Evangelical Missionary Society of ECWA, and every Sunday at 7 p.m. we bring you live update, testimonies, progress, challenges, needs, prayer requests, and partnership opportunities with the EMS for the sake of the gospel. Keep a date to go with Jesus everywhere.
Good evening and welcome to EMS Today on ECWA Television Africa. On EMS Today, we bring you the peculiarities of EMS and the needs, stroke challenges, even the prayer requests of EMS every Sunday at 7 p.m. How are you doing? How was your Sunday? Did you go to church? Did you enjoy service? What did you learn from church today? Well, the show is going to be an exciting one, and I promise that the Lord is going to take charge of the show today. On the set today, I have great personalities. A lady is joining us on the set today. How are you doing, and how was your Sunday?
We thank God I'm fine.
Great. Reverend, how are you doing, sir?
Praise God.
Yeah. So I have Mrs. Esther Silas Buswat, who is the coordinator medicals of EMS of ECWA. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, wonderful. Then I have Reverend Yahaya Bungule. Did I get it right?
Correct.
Yes. Where are you from, sir?
I'm from Gombe State.
Oh, wow.
And
wow.
I'm Tula by tribe.
Okay. You're welcome to
My father
EMS
and
Today.
mother, all of them are
Atula. That's
Yes.
wonderful. You are welcome to EMS Today.
Happy.
Actually, you should be the one welcoming you on the show. But I'm welcoming you since we're having a show on TV.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So
Happy
let's
meeting.
look quickly. You are the home missions coordinator. That means, if I'm not wrong, if I'm right to say that every missionary that is locally based within Nigeria is under your watch. Is that correct?
Correct.
Wonderful. So how many of these missionaries do you have in Nigeria? In Nigeria.
In Nigeria, the missionaries we have is 1,710.
Couples or just in?
Some are married, some are single. We have 65 missionaries who are single.
Out of the 1,000 what?
710.
1,710. So
Yes.
if we minus 65, we have 1,645.
Exactly.
That are okay. They're a couple.
Yes, you are a couple.
Okay,
Yes.
1,645 are couple. So if we plus that by 2, we can have the total number of the missionaries. That's in terms of if we couple them, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then you have 65
65
that are singles.
That are single.
And then we have a lot of young girls that are not married. So
Yes,
we
we
have to
have-
do,
we
if
have
you are
those.
watching and you want to marry a missionary, please call me after the show. That is on the lighter note anyway.
Thank
So how do you deal with 1,710 people?
Mission. We give God the glory because there's no project that God starts without a structure that He has planned to use those structures to do His work. So also EMS of ECWA, as God planted it, started it, He has placed structures that help us to do this. These 1,710 missionaries, we have 12 regional coordinators. These 12 regional coordinators, they are leading 77 coordinators in most of the DCCs.
Say that again.
We have a structure in EMS of ECWA that help us to do this work, to monitor and to oversee these missionaries.
I got that
activities.
part. I want you to say the part that you have 70 what?
We have 12 regional coordinators all over the country.
12 regional. So the country is broken into 12 pieces.
Regions.
Okay, regions.
Yes.
And then you have, in each region, there is someone that is
Reporting
in charge.
to the regional coordinator. Yes, in each region, there is someone in charge.
Okay, so these people that are in charge, they work directly under you.
Yes.
Okay. So, in other words, outside of your domain, which is Plateau State, which is Jos,
Yes.
let me use Jos, you have 12 people that are, you regioned them and then they report to you directly.
Yes.
Okay. These 12 people, how many states per region?
There are some regions that we have more than one state.
Okay.
Like the south, the far.
There is a region that you have just one state?
Yes, there is a region that we have one state, and there is a region that we have more than one state.
Okay, what's the biggest region you have?
The biggest region we have is Central Region.
How many states in it?
That comprises of Niger State,
One,
Central,
two,
FCT,
2,
Kogi,
3,
Delta,
4,
Edo,
5.
and yes, these are these diseases.
Five states.
Yes, 5 states.
How many missionaries do you have within that domain?
219 missionaries.
Wow.
219 missionaries in that region.
You are good with figures. You are good with figures.
So
Anyway, I forgot you are from Gombe State. So
Yes.
Gombe people are brilliant. So we don't forget.
so thank you for
So
that
that's a very good laid preamble. You have very big work to do,
Exactly.
dealing with people from different parts of the country, and it's dealing with people from different parts of the country is easier than dealing with people with different kinds of behaviors, different kinds of attitude, different types of upbringings and all of that. So how do you deal with people who are hard of understanding? You know, there are people that you put down a structure. When they go out, they do what they want to do. How do you deal with issues like that?
We thank God. It's scriptural. Even when Jethro told Moses to divide the people and then give leadership on 50s, 100s, that will help them. So from the coordinators in the DCC, they were able to tackle issues that are under him in the DCC where missionaries are working. And anything that passes their understanding and they don't know how to solve it, they will take it to the regional coordinator. If the regional coordinator could not be able to handle that situation, he will report to me. Then if I fell or I could not be able to handle it, then I report to the management, the director and the admin. Then we will see to that situation.
If they can't handle it, then is they board.
Yes,
The
if they
EMS
can't
board.
handle it, then
The
by
EMS
grace
board
of, yes, but
can
then the
handle it.
EMS board.
If the EMS board cannot handle it, EQUA executive.
Exactly.
If EQUA executive cannot handle it,
We
they
leave
send
it
it
to
to God.
But we know that God is faithful.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because in every setting, you can't deceive yourself to say everybody will do what you sent them to do.
Exactly.
And in every setting, you can't deceive yourself that people will watch the job for you the way others will. A lot of people have different attitudes towards work. If you set a target and ask them, we need at least 500 souls every month, somebody will tell you it's not possible. But another person will win up to 700 within the same month.
Exactly.
So that means it's not the issue of possibility, it's the issue of will to do it now. What are the most common issues that you have dealing with all of these missionaries in their thousands?
Most of the common issues has to do with the need on ground in every field. Having these 1,710 missionaries means you have 1,710 fields, and each field has members, and each member has family. You imagine, and these members, it means the number we have is more than the 1,000 we are talking about. So these 1,000 different needs, different wants, different wishes, and whatever. So these are the things we are working and battling with. It's not battling, but these are the issues that we address to see that these things are solved, these needs are met, these needs are contacted, and how do we do these things? The missionaries there do them. And if they fail and they cannot do it, they seek their friends, advice from other friends, other missionaries. How do I do this thing? How can I do? This is the problem I'm confronted with so-so and so-so members. But how do I do this thing? An experienced missionary will advise him. So this is what you need to do, because I have gone into this situation before. So he uses this experience to explain to him. So these issues are trashed from there. Those who are bigger move it forward.
Wow, wow. You have very, very wonderfully said, in a nutshell, what the home mission is all about. But I'll come back to you in a while. Let's deal with the lady, the only lady on set. Once more, how are you, ma?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Mrs. Esther,
Yes,
how busy is your office? She said,
We thank God my office is busy because, you know, to deal with the health of people, you have to be up and doing. And we give God the glory because God has been helping us to see to the need of our missionaries. Yeah.
Okay. So your office deals with every sick missionary,
Yeah.
directly or indirectly?
Both directly and indirectly.
Okay. So at what level should they bring a sick person to you?
Okay.
A sick missionary to you?
Yeah. A missionary, normally they start from their immediate community. When a missionary is sick, he may access health around the community he is based. And after doing that, if it persists, then he will now call on the coordinator, that's the DCC coordinator. And then maybe there's a bigger place around that place. Then they will go there.
Does your work involve traveling around DCCs to see? DCC is District Church Council. If you're
Yes.
watching, you're not an ECWA member. DCC is District Church Council. So does your work involve traveling around the DCCs?
Well, yes,
Okay.
because
At what point do you have to leave just to go to a DCC?
yeah, like we have 5 clinics in 5 states.
Okay.
Yes, so sometimes,
What are the states?
okay, we have one here in Plateau State.
EMS clinic.
Yes,
Okay.
in Equa Staff.
Okay, inside the school.
No, behind Equa
Okay,
Staff.
around the area.
Yeah,
Okay, so you have one in Plateau.
Yes,
So what other states?
we have one in Bauchi State, specifically in Gwadak. And we have one in Gombe State, Lakweme. We have
Lakweme,
yes.
not Lakweme.
Okay, Lakweme. We have another one in Kaduna State.
You are where?
Kaduna State.
Where in Kaduna?
In Kaswa Magani.
See, you are calling it very well. Are you from Kaduna State?
No, I'm from Plateau. And then lastly, we have one in Kogi State.
Okay, so all these
Gbalagbala.
5.
Gbalagbala.
Okay, all these 5 clinics that you
Yes.
mentioned, they are in the north, and you have mission centers all over the country.
Yeah.
These other places that you don't have clinic, they don't fall sick there.
No, they do. You know, we are trying one after the other. One day we will reach there.
Okay, so what would it take? Because there are people watching this show, and it was intentional that I asked you that question. So what does it take to have a clinic in a particular place?
Well, I think the district will think of having a clinic within their environment, looking at maybe the proximity of other clinics around.
Wait, the DCC has to be responsible for establishing a clinic
Yeah, they
in
have
their
to.
zone.
They have to request.
Okay, not you now.
No.
Okay, on your own, you can't feel the need to start a clinic in a different.
Yes.
Well, that depends on the need, as you said. As I go out, the coordinators and the regionals, maybe sometimes they go out for outreaches, and then they see the community, and looking at the community, there are no clinics close by. They can bring up the issue in the management, we discuss, and see how we can take a clinic to that.
Okay, I don't think maybe if we talk about needs health-wise, maybe we should talk about the peculiarity of the needs, because there is a need to have a clinic everywhere.
Yeah, sure.
Because the reason why you have or you establish clinics in these 5 states that you mentioned, Plateau, Bauchi, Gombe, Kaduna, and Kogi State. The reason why you mention these places is because people fall sick.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So if people fall sick, in these other places, people fall sick too. So there is a need to have a clinic in these places. How much would it cost to have one clinic in a particular place? You don't have to give me exact figures, but there is somebody watching right now that can say, hey, I can build one clinic for EMS in my DCC. So like how much? Is it 5 million? Is it 10 million? How much?
Well, it depends on how large the place is. Because if it's just a small place, we may like maybe some few rooms, like the consulting room, the waiting room, observation room.
No, we don't need all of that in emergency. We just need where you can go see a doctor, get treated, and then if you need to be admitted, maybe we have one male ward, one female ward, and something very simple, like a first aid kind of clinic before we take you to a big hospital.
Okay. We normally, if you can get a first aid clinic, you may need to have at least 3 to 4 rooms.
So how much are we thinking of?
Yeah.
Can I come in here?
Yeah, you can come in.
Okay,
because
she needs help now. You know, sometimes women will brag, yeah, okay, us too, we can do it. But actually, I give it to her. She's been up and about. Anytime you see her, she's working. And like I would always say, sometimes the man for the job is a woman. Yeah, so make your contributions.
Actually, I want to start from where she started. Her own responsibility is not only the missionaries who are sick, but also to sensitize how the missionaries will maintain will check their health, and then to go for hospital, to do awareness so that missionaries will know how to go to hospital, and all this sensitization, she is involved. She is responsible of doing this. And she used to go to DCCs where when the missionaries are meeting, when the coordinator, let's say the coordinator calls the missionary for a conference, and she happens to know, and we happen to know that this conference is holding in so and so place. She will go there and then give awareness on preventive measures to help them to maintain their health, or if how to understand that yes, they are sick, they will need to go to hospital. So this work, she is responsible of doing that. And if there is need, if there is an outbreak or there is a kind of sickness that is so rampant in that area, she's responsible to source for how can we help this community, not only the missionaries. And this report comes from the missionaries. This is our field. This is our station, and this is the problem our missionaries are facing, our members are facing. How can you come in and help us? So, in consultation with the coordinator and the medical coordinator, she will see how she will reach to those areas. And then the second thing is the need on the area where we establish mission clinics. What necessitated establishing these 5 clinics? Let me just tell you, the one in Lakweme, the one in Jos, the one in Kofana, most of these places, we have EMS children's schools that are there. So we don't want the children to suffer if there are health issues. Then we establish a clinic to serve the children and also to serve the community. The only place where we don't have EMS children's school is Gwada and Gwala. And this Gwala and Gwada, we have seen the need in that area. There's no clinic. Before people go to a clinic or hospital, they have to suffer. In fact, so many of the women, they don't go for maternity or whatever. Antenatal, sorry. So this need arises from the missionaries. Then we see the need, or how do we do this? So we were able to do in Gwala and Gwada. And going to different places, we have seen so many places. There is no mission field area where you will go that you will not see the need of establishing a clinic. But looking at our finances, we cannot establish clinics everywhere.
Yes.
Looking at how expensive it is. So we are following it bit by bit. If we can get the money, we can even start it anywhere, in many places.
You can't tell where the money can come from. That is why I said, if you have a need to establish a clinic anywhere, say it on this show.
Good. We are now in the project of building it in Pisabu in Kebbi State. We have finished building, put the doors and the floor. This one cost almost 4 million to start to build. But the equipment for that clinic,
just
we have already bought it. Yes.
Just for the building.
For the building, and not only the building and the equipment, the beds, the anything that we put it in the clinic, we've already bought it at that cost.
And it's not expensive. 4 million is not expensive, you know. And okay, so how did you raise the funds to build this? Did you call out for people to send support?
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So I would like to have later in the show, I would like to we will place the number where people can call and make their contributions. If there is a need for any contribution, we will place the number so that people can call. Before the show ends, we will have to do that. So home missions, at what point do they intimate you that somebody is sick? Because if all the missionaries are under you, I think the change should come when somebody is sick. Instead of going to them, they should let you know. Then you can call them to say, I don't know how you operate. So how do people find out that this person is sick? How do you know?
Actually, we thank God for bringing cell phones. These cell phones have made work easier. The missionaries who are sick, they are at liberty to call me directly, call the director directly, or call the administrator, or call the medical coordinator. This is the situation I am, and the coordinator. Then they will advise him which level. It depends. Some people may like to call the director. Some people like to call me, and if they call me, what did you do? Did you go to the clinic? Yes. Then what next? Did the coordinator know about your situation? Yes. So we are praying with you. And the reason why most of them are calling is to inform us so that we will continue to pray for them. After which the coordinator will take the administrative, visit the missionary, see how he is. If the situation is critical, the coordinator would take the missionary to a better clinic, not waiting for the missionary to go to the clinic. If he visit the missionary, he found out that the situation is critical. He is the one who will take the missionary to the clinic, and then the missionary will go with him. So he will take over.
So how often do you have issues of sicknesses? How often do you?
As often as possible, because even just this week that we last week that we just ended, we have about 4 missionaries that are critical and admitted, apart from those that are referred to our clinic here in Jos. And then when you say referred, that means their cases have become... Yeah, sure. Okay. Because like 2 of them, the one has to undergo surgery And then the other one has been unconscious for almost 2 weeks before we discovered, and he has to be referred. So
How is he doing now?
No, he has been discharged.
Wow.
And then he is to go back for review in 2 weeks' time. Yeah, there's great improvement because he came, he wasn't opening his eyes, not just like half dead, but then we thank God within 3 days he was able to be stable.
So in a week, like how many cases do you have?
On referral?
No, like generally. Okay, so now if somebody is sick somewhere and they don't have to refer them to you, you don't have to know?
No, they may inform us, but then...
Why would they inform you?
Yeah, so that we will know, because it will not be just prompt like that you have not started anything and you just brought a patient. So they need to tell us that this is the situation of our missionary, but we are handling it at our level.
So the question now is, once a missionary is sick, whether they are bringing him to Jos or not, you are aware?
Yes, when need be. Why am I saying
so that
when
means
need
there are cases that you don't have to know if
yes,
they can tackle
if they
it.
can handle it.
Okay,
that.
I understand now. I understand now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to find out. So the cases that they report to you, like how many weekly?
Like, let's say 5.
5 every week.
Critical ones.
Yeah.
And then the ones that will come to our clinic here in Jos, maybe 6, 7, 8. Since other people from within Jos can easily come there, and then other people that are referred to will come to Jos.
For medical assistance
Yeah.
and all that. Okay, before I take a break, I would like to talk with, I would like to ask the home mission coordinator.
Yes.
What are the basic challenges that you have regularly with missionaries?
Thank you very much for that question. Actually, this is the basic challenges we have with the missionaries is the issue of health issues. Health issues. Especially these days, the issue of hepatitis is dealing with most of our missionaries. And we at the management, we have seen this so rampant that what do we do? Just of recent, we sat and we brainstormed our ideas toward this, and we came up with we developed a form checklist on to know their health status, so that those who are their level of hepatitis is low or other sicknesses are low, then we tackle them at the lower level before it escalates. So this is the major challenge we have from the missionaries now.
So is it that the missionaries don't give you problems outside health issues?
Okay. If you talk about problems, there's nowhere you can go without problems or challenges like that.
Yeah.
So the challenges are peculiar. Some this one. You cannot measure one. And most of the challenges, apart from the health challenges we're talking about, the places where they are facing, they are staying. You have this insecurity challenge. Let me just give you one example. One missionary, we just visited him. After our visit, that very night, he was attacked. That very night. This is
what do you mean attacked?
Is it armed robbers came to his house?
Okay.
Came to his house and then beat them, carried their belongings, and then
they left
him. In fact, they carried the daughter, so we thank God that God saved the daughter. So these challenges are all over. So a missionary, even though he has the heart to reach the people,
If he's distracted.
If he's distracted, he will have a mixed feeling. And they are living in kind of fear. But still they love the missionary. They love the
mission work.
The mission work. We have a missionary whose community was attacked and they were driven away. He went somewhere to hide himself, but after 2-3 days, he could not sleep. How is my member? He began to think of how is this man doing? How is this? He began to to name the members. Before he realized, he told his wife, "Stay here. Let me go and see the situation of my members." This missionary went back to the village, where the station is. So he began to know where are these people. Then he brought them together. Then he was staying there before we transferred him some time ago. So you see, because of the passion, many missionaries are willing to stay despite the fact that the insecurity is there. So the challenge of insecurity is actually affecting our missions work.
All right. So I will quickly take a break. When we are back, we'll continue with the discussion on challenges and what have you. So let me take a quick break. If you are watching, the show is live on Equa Television, Facebook, and YouTube as well. You can make your comments and we'll take your comments before we end the show. So let's take a quick one and we'll be right back. I still have Reverend Yahaya and Mrs. Esther in the studio with me. Let me take this quick break and I'll be back.
From the first missionary couple sent by EMS to Senyawa in Kano in the year 1949 to the 1,970 missionary couples currently serving in the 19 countries of the world, the goal has been to preach the gospel of salvation to the ends of the earth.
Aikin EMS aiki ne wanda yake ba za a yi wasa da shi ba, domin cikin littafi Allah ya ce, Yesu ya ce ku tafi cikin duniya duka ku labartar da labari kowa ya ji.
The church is existing simply because God Himself has a mission. As such, the mission of God has become the mission of the church.
Thank you very much for going nowhere and staying tuned to Equa Television to watch EMS Today on Equa TV Africa. Like I said before the break, the show is live on Facebook, the show is live on YouTube, so you can be able to make your comment live on the show. Mrs. Esther.
Yes, sir.
What are the regular health issues that you always have? What are the sicknesses that are common amongst the missionaries?
Okay. The common illnesses are, like he said, we have the issue of hepatitis.
Hepatitis.
It's very rampant. And then it has claimed a lot of lives. We have spent so much money, but unfortunately, many of them don't make it.
What causes hepatitis?
Hepatitis is caused by a virus.
Okay, how do you get it?
Yeah, you can get it through blood transfusion,
One,
any droplets,
two,
and then saliva too.
three.
Use of items like cups, spoons can be transmitted through that.
So what is the sensitization that we do to our missionaries to avoid having these repeated cases?
Yeah, we normally, as he said, we go to conferences when we are invited to give.
Apart from conferences, how do you create an avenue? Because it is, you said that it has claimed a lot of lives.
Yeah.
If there are no conferences, people are not aware. How do you create awareness to warn people about hepatitis?
Well, many of them that come to the clinic, we give them health education on how
That means you don't have a particular plan of reaching out to them. You have to wait for them to come, for them to hear how to avoid. Because you have 1,710 people, I think it's of essence, there is a need to reach out to this 1,710 people and let them know how they can avoid hepatitis. My take is this: if you say you are losing people to death as a result of hepatitis, I think it is of utmost importance. Jesus talked about 100 sheep and one missing and leaving 99. So I think this is of importance that if you don't have a structure like that, you should start creating medical awareness for EMS pastors. You can raise support for that, and then people can be able to be saved. Because sometimes people just leave. In the absence of information, a lot of havoc is done. In the absence of information. Some people don't know that this GSM has what is called radiation, and it's dangerous to your health. So people sleep with it close to them and all of that. So you have anti-radiation, you have every kind of thing to warn you against sicknesses like that. So I think there should be a plan on how pastors, EMS pastors, can be contacted. Let's not wait till there is a conference, till there is a meeting, till there's anything. I think we should create something and reach out to them.
Yeah, I think we have.
You want to add?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me come in here. I have been a coordinator. I was a missionary, a coordinator, a regional.
You stopped being a missionary?
No, I mean in the field missionary.
Okay,
I
you
was
were
in the
before
field.
you were brought to the headquarters.
Before I was a coordinator, the regional
at DCC
coordinator
level.
Yes.
You became regional
I've
coordinator.
become regional coordinator.
Now you are the
home missions
coordinator in charge of all coordinators.
Yes.
Okay.
So what you are saying, we had this thing since in EMS. The awareness to the coordinators is that they should be having this thing, regular sensitization to the missionaries whenever they are meeting. So for one to go out throughout Nigeria, you can meet this thing in a few time. Instead, before she goes to this disease, the coordinators many of them organizes meeting and invite medical personnel within their DCC
to talk to them.
To talk to them on hepatitis, on cleanliness, on the preventive measures, on any kind of outbreak whenever there is an outbreak.
Okay, that's important. Okay, the phone line is open. The phone number is on the screen. If you want to call us, ask a question, make a contribution, we're right here for you. So hepatitis is one of the major case that you have.
That is claiming lives.
That is claiming lives.
Yeah, because we have malaria, which is very common.
It's very common.
But
in
then
Africa.
it's treatable. You can treat it easily.
Okay.
And then we have cases of high blood pressure.
So when people come with malaria, do you charge them to treat them?
Yeah, we have to. But then it's not much.
You don't have to, because there are people also that are watching this show. They can be giving you free malaria drugs.
We would have been happy to have
Yes, tell them they are watching you.
Yes, the missionaries, whenever they
No,
come to.
and this is important. Tell them, look into that camera and tell them, this camera.
Okay, maybe let me see.
Okay, we have a caller. We have Dennis from Kaduna. Dennis, how are you?
Okay.
Okay, let's end the call. Please, anybody calling, stay away from your TV sets. Anybody calling the show, stay away from your TV set. Just call us and talk to us with your phone. Don't listen to us from your television. Now, madam, I want you to look in that camera and tell them what the malaria drug, like what is the full dosage, and if people can call the number that is showing on the screen to make donations for malaria drugs. Malaria drugs are not very expensive, but call on people to give.
Sincerely, we'll be very happy. Even though I give the credit to God and to our leaders.
Okay, Pastor Stephen Bahago is online. I would have kept him because he has money, but Pastor Stephen Bahago, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. And how are you doing?
Thank you very much, my friend. What's happening? You're watching the show. What's happening?
Yes. So I must have to commend the guys that are working in the homeland because I really feel that they're really committed to doing a lot for the missionaries.
Praise the Lord.
Just my short question for the gentleman reverend that is there is, does EMS have training boot, like a boot training for new missionaries? Because I feel the questions that the other lady is struggling with in terms of like knowing how to take care of the awareness for health and the idea of planning for their treatment and all of those things. I think in the entry point of a missionary, if there is a very good plan of training those missionaries, that will solve the problem of those questions that we are asking. So it's an ordinary missionary when it comes to ECWA EMS. How many weeks does it take for him to be certified as a missionary in ECWA, or just the theological education they have?
Okay. Did you get the question?
I got the question, but even though the voice is not loud here.
Okay.
But I can understand that what he is saying, what is EMS doing to train missionaries on health issues like that? Okay. The issue of training missionaries on health issues, we have to...
You have to be very quick. A lot of people will be calling. Yeah, just go straight to the point.
The coordinators are there, and they are making contacts in every church. And some of those who are mission-minded and are medical personnel, they are contacted. Some come, and then they give the awareness to the missionaries. Train the missionaries on how to deal with other issues that are so much in their area.
Okay, I have Dennis from Kaduna. Dennis, how are you? Good evening.
Fine. Hi, sir.
Fine, thank you. Please go ahead, make your contribution.
I'm trying to understand what is actually happening with the real people suffering through hepatitis.
Can you say that again? I didn't quite get that.
Yes.
I said, why will you go and treat hepatitis and this thing is killing here and there, and we are looking for two solutions on this thing?
Sorry, say that. How are we going to treat what?
The hepatitis.
Okay, what is the question, sir?
The question here is the treatment of hepatitis. If somebody is passing through hepatitis, so what is the real treatment? Because some people are passing through it and they are dying, and people are dying on this.
Okay, thank you very much. Even though this is not a medical show, but what is there a treatment for hepatitis? Is it curable?
Well,
is it curable?
It's curable.
What is the treatment?
Yeah, if there are stages, you have to be screened, know whether you have the hepatitis.
Already, we know that the person has hepatitis.
Then we now carry some tests, because you don't just treat it like that. You have to, first of all, know the liver of that person. Is it functioning well? If it is functioning, there's no much fear. You can just handle the person by giving something that will improve his immune system, and off he goes. And then he will be checking constantly to know.
With the hospital?
Yes. And then if it persists, you now have to, there are stages of going for viral load to know how the virus has it covered many places or not. You know, it also leads to cirrhosis, sometimes cancer. So that is what even leads to the death of many of them.
Okay. Yeah. When it starts affecting other parts of the body.
Especially the liver.
Hepatitis is curable.
Yeah.
Okay, so how can you know at the early stage that you have hepatitis?
You have to be screened. Your blood sample.
You can't feel anything? You can?
No, the signs and symptoms are just like any other sickness.
Okay.
There is a weakness of the body, sometimes headache, and then loss of appetite. But with this, other diseases can cause that. So, but the main thing is that until it gets to another stage, you'll be seeing yellowness of the eyes, urine yellow, other places yellow. And that has become critical, that may hardly be handled.
Okay. So, sir, you were in the middle of answering Stephen Bahago's question earlier before you were interrupted by Mr. Dennis' call.
Yes.
So, excuse me. What is the modality to train EMS pastors? When they come, do you just take them? Okay, we have Baladogo from Kaduna. Let me just take Baladogo from Kaduna, then we'll come back to your question. Okay. Baladogo, good evening. How are you, sir? We have Baladogo from Kaduna. Let me just take Baladogo from Kaduna, then we'll come back to you. Okay, let me come to you. Mr. Baladogo, please turn off your TV, and then you call me using your phone. Go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Dennis, thank you for that question.
No, Mr. Stephen.
Oh, Stephen.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that question and your contribution. Actually, before we engage a missionary, we give them a form to go to a recognized clinic, hospital, to check on them, to know their status.
No, that's not what he's talking about. How will you get pastors to be aware and the training on their health? How do you get that passed out?
Well, can I come in?
Yes.
Yeah, I think there are times that they will, when they are taking new missionaries, they will bring them for
medical
checkup. Apart from that, they have a seminar for them, and then they will call us medical people to come and talk with them, and then give them
we have
awareness.
Nancy. Sorry, we have Nancy from Kagoro. Nancy, how are you? Good evening.
I'm fine, sir.
Thank you very much for calling EMS Today on Equa Television. Do you have a contribution or a question? Okay, go ahead.
Seriously, I really appreciate what you are doing. What you are doing today, Garcia, is really helping. Many missionaries are suffering from seriously hepatitis. But what I understand that is not all not all the coordinators that are telling the missionaries how to cope with this hepatitis. Seriously.
Do you have an experience?
I really appreciate mommy for me.
Okay. Do you have an experience, Nancy? Okay.
Okay, maybe concerning that.
You see, people are still hammering on the same thing. The pastors are not informed. I'm not asking about how you want to know their health. What people are asking is, how do you train the pastors to know all these things? How do you train them to live with it? That is the issue.
Well, we have come up with checklists, as we were saying, for missionaries to tell us, have they been screened? What was their result? You know, if you don't have, you have to be given vaccine. You have to be immunized. And then we will find out, have you been immunized? Because some people will do the test, they are negative, they will just go back and sleep. Before you know it, 1 month, 2 months, they have come in contact with hepatitis. So we have came up with a checklist to screen every missionary in the field, including their family members. Because recently we had an issue of a missionary dying. No, the son died first, then the missionary, and then the daughter of the same person or 2 of his children are having hepatitis. So we want to cope with that, to know whether you have been screened. If you have been screened, have you been vaccinated? If you have not, or if you have, where? So we came up with that to help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me ask this question, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think it's not too clear. Let me ask this question. Okay, Husseina, how are you doing? Husseina may have to turn down her TV and use the phone to talk to us. Let me ask you this question, sir. Excuse me. How do you know how many people out of the 1,710 have hepatitis?
We have not taken the record of those who have hepatitis. But because of the constant happening with this hepatitis, we have developed a form. Is it a form?
Checklist.
A checklist to know their status first. By the time we know their status, we'll be able to know those who are hepatitis, have hepatitis.
How are you going about it? The 1,710 people have the checklist?
Yes.
Okay.
We just finished and then we sent it to the coordinators.
Are they returning it already?
They will train it.
Okay.
They will
I think that is what people want to know. Not whether you are, the only time from your response, the only time you ask is when the opportunity is presented.
Yes.
People want to know what is the opportunity that you have created to ask these people their health status. And you have said it now that you have a checklist for them to write and then run a test and then bring it back to you so that you can know. Let's assume that you have 1,000 people with hepatitis from the checklist. How do you tend to go about it?
Then the issue of training, but when we say training, we are training someone to go and help others too. But somebody to help him, we are in the stage of helping a person to know his status first.
By this time, you already know that there are 1,000 pastors, missionaries with hepatitis. How will you deal with it?
Well, we have come with the first major to know their status. After we know their status, we have an office, pastoral care, who also help to go through the mission field. He already has a team that will call missionaries from regions, from diseases.
What did you call him?
Pastoral care.
Pastoral care.
Office.
Okay. So what does he do? What do they do in pastoral care?
Pastoral care has to do with the issues concerning the missionaries' health, missionaries' welfare, their situation, what are they passing through, all these things.
How does that office know the peculiarities of the challenges?
Yes, he has a team. We partner.
Okay.
Yeah, with the office.
Your missionaries, do they call him directly?
Not so now, but he is setting the office, and we.
Is it a new office?
Yes, it's a new office.
It's not been existing.
Yes, it has not been existing.
It was created newly.
Yes, last year.
Okay.
Because of
last year is not newly. Last year is. So right now, the pastoral care, the person receives information from who now? Directly.
From the regional coordinators.
They call him to say this is
the situation.
Okay, like is it only sickness or when they have other issues?
Not only sickness.
Okay,
that has to do with what his well-being, whether the challenges of health, challenges of food, challenges of
welfare,
anything like that.
So you will get us the person so that we can have him on the show, or him or her. I don't know who. Is a him.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have him on the show next Sunday so that we can talk about, people can hear the issues that pastors, missionaries are going through. I think he's the right person to hear that, since it's pastoral care. So if it means bringing you back to talk, since you are related, then we should have that. You want to say something?
Yes, I said, as you were asking whether if about 1,000 missionaries have hepatitis, if we screen and know that, then we have to give them preventive measures so that it cannot escalate to other family members.
Okay, so you are giving preventive measures to other people that don't have already.
Yes.
The 1,000 that have, how will you deal with it?
We will now start process of knowing whether their liver is affected, not affected. Then from there we...
From the stages?
Yes.
Okay. So will you have capacity to deal with that within a month?
It's not easy because of money issue.
No, yes, but if it's a need, you wouldn't want to hear that 1,000 ECWA pastors died because of hepatitis. It will be news globally, and it's a negative one. Yeah. So if you have an outbreak like that, that is dealing with up to 1,000 missionaries, I think you should start thinking of running instead of praying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure.
Prayer is important. But some people think, don't pray for me, give me medicine. If that is how their faith is activated at that point in time, your prayer will not work because the person will need his faith to be connected to whatever it is you are giving to them, right?
Yes,
great.
Actually, the number you are saying, we are not praying for that. But
Yeah, I'm just
it's
looking
not
at worst
saying
case scenario, because when she brought that issue, Nancy that called said the same thing. And Nancy's concern is that the people don't know what to do when they have it. Do you know that there are people who fall sick? They just go back to the village and start taking herbs and all of that, not even knowing what is wrong with them.
Exactly.
So people need to be talked to. That was why I asked you the question, what is the symptoms, or what are the symptoms of hepatitis? And you said it's like any other sickness. So EMS pastors that are watching should know that constant check of your health is important. But you also have to understand that the check is the responsibility of the home mission and the medical unit, because they cannot leave what they are doing to go and check. Look at the man you gave an instance with. He left a place, he left his wife somewhere and went to a place that was still hazardous. But he went back to check on his members. People like that don't have time to do hepatitis tests. I'm telling you, some people are passionate about what they do. They don't care about health. They tell you if they die, they die. So I think you should start working on modalities on how you can reach this 1,000. Because if you tell them you are sending a checklist, the next question is, where will the money for the test come from?
Exactly.
Okay.
They normally, as I was saying, that we thank our leaders. In fact, they take care of their medical bills.
Okay.
Sometimes, if I come to request for money, I will feel, how can I now go and request for this money again? Because over and over again, I'll bring requests. Sometimes if they see me, they say, medical, I hope there's no problem. Because they know I will bring an issue of money. Because they are the one treating them. Even as we go out for awareness and screening, they are the one that are responsible, not the missionaries.
Okay.
Yes, not the missionaries.
Okay, so I have some comments I'd like to take before we close the show. That is my home mission coordinator, wishing you a great time with Equa TV on EMS Today. That's from Habila Musa. Then I have Stephen Bago. Does EMS a prayer blast platform? I think he meant to say have a prayer blast platform that she does issues related to missionaries and their safety. And then we have Rotimi Ibrahim, God bless you. We have Mark Phillips. Do you know Mark Phillips?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
I think you should
EMS.
know Mark Phillips. Mark Phillips
EMS
is commenting.
guy.
He said, you guys are doing a great job. Thanks, team, and the guy behind the camera. He's congratulating the guy behind the camera. Then we have Godwin Zafania. He said, the missionaries are doing the great work. May God Almighty continue to guide and protect them, and may he meant to say, help us to support the good work financially and prayers in Jesus' name. He meant to say in prayers. Musa Habila, yes, I like that, Engineer Tony. Missionaries need to be upgraded to be able to contacted, or maybe to be contacted, I guess. Then we have Ashishe Ayuba, proudly Equa. This is an excellent next level in EMX of Equa. Wonderful. We have Habila Musa again. I like this program, guys. God bless you. Wonderful. We have Reverend Aduga is watching, but he didn't say anything yet. May God bless EMS and proudly Equa. Princess God Guide. Habila Musa again. We need more to watch this program for the progress of the work of God and for us to go a long way. Habila Musa again. How I wish all the missionaries too will have access and connectivity to this program. I wish to. Awojobi Olukayode, I need the phone number, please. See, I told you people will give money. Somebody is asking for the phone number. And we have Hela Sini Solomon. We really appreciate your discussion. I am of opinion that more emphasis should be made on creating awareness for our missionary, not only for their consumption, but to help their members. This is how far we can go on EMS today. I have been instructed to end the show here. So thank you very much, Reverend Yahaya and Mrs. Esther, for coming on the show. The show will continue on Sunday at 7 p.m. So you do well to join us. We will continue where we left off from. He should be able to take the health issues, and we have the pastoral care, you said.
Yes.
He will be joining us on Sunday. See you next Sunday. Please be kind to one another. God bless you. Have a great evening.